Well, children, we have already completed chapter 3, Matter, and I think you all have understood that chapter properly. Before going through this next chapter, you must learn that chapter thoroughly. And today we'll start chapter 4, Water. Children, you all are well acquainted with this word, water, because we use this water throughout our day, from morning to night, for various purposes for washing, cooking, drinking, etc. etc. Children, water plays very important, or you can say vital role in our life. Next to air, water is the most common and important substance for all living organisms. Water is used in large quantities for growing crops and in industries. Water is a universal solvent. Do you know why is it called universal solvent? Because it can dissolve a variety of substances in it. Variety of substances like sugar, salt, many minerals and chemicals are easily dissolved in water. This versatile nature of water is due to some of its interesting properties. And children, you will learn about the sources, properties, and uses of water in this chapter. So first, we will go through importance of water for living organisms. You all know that water is important for human beings. So it is not only important for human beings, water is important for all living beings, either it is human, animals, or green plants. So I will explain one by one these points. Number one, water regulates body temperature by the process of sweating and evaporation. Sweating, children, this is a natural process, and we sweat, we perspire. Extra water from the body comes out from these pores of the skin by the process of sweating, and our body regulates or maintains our body temperature. Similarly, plants also regulate their body temperature by the process of transpiration. They remove extra water from their body by the process of transpiration, and in that process, water comes out from the leaves by the process of evaporation in atmosphere. Point number 2, water inside the bodies of animals, humans dissolves minerals, gases, and many products of digestion and carries them at the place of need in the body. So many things, so many minerals and other gases, even gases like oxygen, carbon dioxide are dissolved in water. Many minerals are dissolved in water, and these things are carried by water in our body from one place to another place. Number 3, water provides a medium for all biochemical reactions. What is biochemical reaction? A reaction which takes place inside a living body is called biochemical reaction. So all these biochemical reactions like digestion, respiration, which occur inside our body, which takes place in presence of water, means water provides a medium for all these biochemical reactions. Next is water is essential for the germination of seeds, growth of plants, and in photosynthesis. Children, what we do for germination of seeds? We soak these seeds in water. And what happens? These seeds soak water, absorb water, and they germinate. For growth of plants, children, we give water to the plants every day. And what is photosynthesis? Photosynthesis is a process in which green plants prepare their food. So all these processes, all these things like germination of seeds, for growth of plants, and for photosynthesis, these green plants need water. Clear, children? Now next, some other uses of water. Before explaining these points, you should know some important points are given in your book. Did you know? Per person consumption of water in a village in our country is about 12 liters per day. The consumption per person in a city is between 50 to 2000 liters per day. Just you see the difference between the consumption of water in village and in cities. So you can understand by this that how much water we people waste here. Number 2, a person needs about 2.5 liters of water per day for drinking. Next is, for a cabbage seed to grow into a cabbage, about 25 liters of water is required. For growing 1 kilogram of wheat, 1500 liters of water is required. For growing 1 kilogram of rice, about 4500 liters of water is required. So these are the requirements of various plants for their growth. Okay children, now come to this point, some other uses of water. So you know that water is used for various purposes, and some important purposes are given here, explained here one by one. I will explain you. Number one, most industrial activities require water. Industries such as paper, rayon, petroleum, refining, fertilizers, dyes, drugs, and heavy chemical industries require huge quantities of water. So these industries need water to run. They cannot run without water. They cannot do their work without water. Many plants and animals live in water. Many people live in boats floating in lakes or rivers. Plants and children, you know that some plants are aquatic plants, some are hydrophytes, some animals are called hydrocoals. So they survive in water. So water is their natural habitat, or you can say natural home, and without water they cannot survive. Now next is, water is good medium for the transportation of people and goods. You have studied in your junior classes that various modes of transportation. Among them, one is water acts as a mode of transportation. Water acts as a carrier of seeds from one place to another. In water plants, plants which grow in waters like hydrophytes or aquatic plants, water plays an agent for dispersal of seeds, means they carry seeds from one place to another place. Water provides a medium for recreational sports such as swimming, boating, water skiing, etc. Children, you also enjoy these sports, water sports like swimming, boating, and water skiing. Next is, the flowing water is used for generating electricity with the help of water wheel. Children, you all have been to Mathon Dam and you have seen there is a organization DVC which generate electricity there by using flowing water. While water flows from a great height, what happens? It has great kinetic energy which rotates the water wheel, and then that kinetic energy is converted into mechanical energy, and then that mechanical energy is changed into electrical energy by dynamo or generators. So flowing water is used for generating electricity. Next is, flowing water is also used for doing some mechanical work such as running a flour mill, drawing water from a well, etc. In cold countries, water is used to keep houses warm. And the last is, water is the radiator. Water is in the radiator of a car, helps in keeping its engine cool, that you all have seen. Okay children, so now you know that water is a renewable natural resource. What do you mean by this word renewable? Renew means which we can make it new again. So you all know that water present in various water bodies on the earth like oceans, rivers, lakes, and ponds. That water evaporates and changes into water to water vapor, and at height, that water vapor condenses and it changes into water droplets. That water droplets precipitate and fall on the earth and goes to the water bodies. So we can see it makes a cycle. That cycle is called water cycle. That is why it is called water is a renewable natural resource. It is a natural resource. It's not man-made or artificial resource. It is a natural resource. Water occurs in nature as solid, liquid, and gas. That we also know that water exists in three various forms, that is solid, ice, liquid, water, and gas, vapor. Various sources of water in nature are oceans, seas, rivers, lakes, ponds, wells, and springs. Water is very important for animals, plants, and for many activities in our life such as agriculture, industry, etc. And the last one, in nature, Water occurs both in free as well as in combined forms. Well, children, I will give you few assignment questions answers that you will do in your notebook. Till then, goodbye.